Okay, let's do some tests on my tape recorder. Because I get a little bit of distortion in the recording, and I want to find out why. Now, first of all, going to test the voltage of the erase head. And the camera is not going to focus, so there it goes. Now let's just turn the meter on. Little circuit I've done here. You can see on the test leads I have connected a capacitor across it. It's reading a tiny little voltage off there. There's a little tiny bit stored up in there. And on the end of this wire here you can see a diode. Because although this meter has AC voltage testing, the bias frequency confuses it and it gives a wrong reading, so this little circuit here makes it give an accurate reading. So I'm now going to you can see that he's now touching the erase head, and on the meter it's out of range, so I'll just have to turn that to a different voltage. I've now got it on the 200 volt range. Now let's see what we have going into the erase head. Okay, we have on the meter 51 volts. So that's quite normal. That's the voltage it should be. You may remember the previous video when I adjusted the bias for this. Well, I didn't do it correctly. These are the two trimmers here which adjust the bias voltage. Now, according to the service manual, that should be at 11 volts, and I have adjusted it, so let's just see what voltage we've got here at the recording head, because it is on record standby. Very blurry at the moment. On the meter, it's reading 10.7 volts. Well, it's reading lower now because I just removed it. So that's just about right. It's off by a couple of hundred millivolts, but that doesn't really matter. These two wires here, this yellow wire and this blue wire here, connect this board to the record amp, which you can see on the left. Now I'm going to see if there's any distortion here. On the other end of this wire that I've just that I'm holding, I've got that connected to an amplifier, so I'm just going to see what we get. Okay. That sounds all right. Now, okay, you may be thinking that sounds, seems to have excessive treble, but that's because of the recording equalization. To record on tape, you need to increase the treble and reduce the bass. Okay, now I'm going to test for any unwelcome DC voltages. I'm going to put this onto the 200 millivolt range. You can see it is fluctuating a bit. So I've got this measuring DC voltage. Let's just see what we get on the head here. Well, that shouldn't be. There's definitely a voltage there. Definitely a DC voltage. It's so high that it's gone out of range, so we'll put it onto the 2 volt range and see what we get. About 208 millivolts there. Here you can see the board where the erase head and record head connect. This is the connector for those two heads there. And I think the problem why there is a DC voltage getting into the record head might be this capacitor here. I think that might be going bad. Only problem is I don't have a suitable replacement for it. So what I've done is I have added a couple of 100 microfarad electrolytic capacitors to the record head circuit. You can see where I've added them here. So they should filter out the unwanted DC voltage and still let enough of the sound through to get a good recording. I've also just temporarily put a little bit of a plastic sleeving in the record play switch. Now I'll just take a reading of the voltage at the head. It should be absolutely no DC voltage there now. Okay, it's dropped to 0. No, sorry. It's dropped down to 18 millivolts. Hasn't completely got rid of the DC offset, but it should record a whole lot better now. Okay then, let's try to make a recording. Okay, I have no idea whether that's suitable music to use on YouTube, because I don't know if it's copyrighted by the stupid Warner Music Group, but if this video gets muted, I'll know. But anyway, let's see, or hear, how that came out. Oh, hang on, it's still on record mode. Better just take that little thing out of the record play switch. That's probably where I stopped recording.